Welcome back to the channel. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of the LCSW network. If you're new to the channel, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channel, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of this channel is to create a community of hope and support where social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Well, welcome back to week 22 of our 2021 Wellness Challenge series. Just a quick recap before we get into today's topic. In week 1, we talked about the importance of using an early warning sign action plan for our self-care. In week 2, we talked about using positive self-affirmations. In week 3, we talked about using audiobooks. In week 4, we talked about the benefits of cycling. In week 5, we talked about the benefits of connecting with nature. In week 6, we talked about the benefits of walking. In week 7, we talked about the benefits of sleep. In week 8, we talked about the benefits of annual health exams. In week 9, we talked about using hobbies. In week 10, we talked about visual arts. In week 11, we talked about the importance of maintaining friendships. In week 12, we talked about using music. In week 13, we talked about the importance of water and staying hydrated for our self-care. In week 14, we talked about food journaling and mindful eating. In week 15, we talked about reconnecting to our purpose. In week 16, we talked about paying yourself first. In week 17, we talked about mindset. In week 18, we talked about spirituality. In week 19, we talked about the importance of laughter for self-care. In week 20, we talked about 10 benefits of exercise for our self-care. In week 21, we talked about the importance of mindfulness as a self-care practice. So today we're going to be talking about self-kindness and the importance of self-kindness for our self-care. So given that we're now past a year of living through a global pandemic that we haven't seen in at least 100 years, it's so important that if we're not practicing self-kindness, that we start. Because the alternatives to practicing self-kindness are compassion fatigue, burnout, vicarious traumatization, secondary traumatic stress. So I really believe that practicing self-kindness is so important. And self-kindness was identified by Kristin Neff as one of the 3 components that make up self-compassion. Okay, and we will go over self-compassion in another video. So stay tuned. All right, but let's talk about self-kindness. So when we experience pain and personal shortcomings, rather than engage in critical and judgmental attitudes, beliefs, and thoughts, we need to extend kindness to ourselves. We need to show kindness to ourselves just as much as we show kindness to others. So one of the ways that I practice self-kindness is by practicing some concepts that I learned from the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And that I will go over that in another series of videos. But when I stick to my daily maintenance plan, and again I will go over daily maintenance plan in another video, that is how I practice self-kindness. So let me give you some examples. Practicing gratitude is one way that I show self-kindness, that I practice kindness to myself. Just being, observing an attitude of gratitude for people in my life, for the things that I do for myself. Like I came out here today. I had kind of a busy week and I love cycling, but honestly guys, I was tired. So one way that I practiced some self-kindness before I came out here was I took a nap. I took a nap without guilt, without being judgmental to myself. I showed some kindness to myself by acknowledging, the state of my body, of my physical wellness, of my mental wellness, of my spiritual wellness. Coming out here is a form of kindness to myself. Look at it, guys. I mean, the sun is still shining, the birds are singing, some of them are swimming out here on the lake. Connecting with nature for me is a form of self-kindness. So a lot of the previous week topics that I've talked about, for me, these are ways that I practice kindness to myself. All right, so each of us are going to have different ways of practicing self-kindness, and that's okay. You have to figure out how you're going to practice self-kindness, just like I have had to figure out ways of practicing self-kindness. All right, so are you all up to the challenge for adopting self-kindness into your self-care practice, into your wellness practice? Let me know your thoughts about self-kindness. All right, you could also think of self-kindness as just practicing self-care. So however you practice self-care in your daily life, that's a form of self-kindness. All right, the alternative is just being judgmental to yourself, self-critical, self-judgmental. And again, that's a fast track to compassion fatigue, to burnout, to secondary traumatic stress, to vicarious traumatization. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to thank you all for watching this video. To all the social workers and other licensed professionals, thank you for the work that you do every day for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.